We just saw a clip of Young Woman in the Sea in theaters on the last day of this month of May, produced by Jerry Bruckheimer here on the Rich Eisen Show. We just saw that clip of Daisy Ridley trying to swim through red jellyfish. Oh, my goodness gracious. What a film this is, sir.
Yeah, it's really emotional. It's the highest scoring movie I've ever made.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. It's so emotional. And the story between her and her sister and all the things she had to go through just to get to swim the channel. Mm-hmm. Forget that she did it. And it took her second attempt to actually make it. And she beat the men's record by 2 hours.
Wow.
Which is unbelievable.
And spoiler alert, Trudy Ederle lived till she was 98 years old. So how does a story like this wind up on your desk, Jerry?
Jeff Nathanson, who's a writer that worked with us on Pirates of the Caribbean, mm-hmm. and he's a fabulous writer, and he was looking for something for his daughters to watch. He had young daughters. And so he's surfing through the channels, can't find anything. So he goes to a used bookstore and finds this book about this girl. And he brings it to us, and we love it, and we said, we'll try to set it up. So we set it up at one studio, they put it in turnaround. We set it up at another studio, they put it in turnaround. And finally, Disney took it on. It took us 7 years to come and sit in the seat and tell you about this movie. So it was a long journey, but we finally got there. And it was originally just going to be streaming, but it turned out so well that Disney is putting it in theaters and in a lot of, like 20 markets. So for awards consideration, because it's a beautiful film. And when you see the movie, at the end of the movie, we show you the parade that she had down Fifth Avenue, which is the biggest parade ever for an athlete. And when you see it, you won't believe it. And you've never heard of her. This girl got lost in time. She was an Olympic swimmer. I think she held just about every record possible before she went to the Olympics. And she didn't do great in the Olympics. I think she won one medal for the relay. So she came back very depressed and didn't know what she was going to do, and decided that she always used to swim around the pier in Coney Island. So she was used to open water swimming, and she's, well, maybe I'll take this on.
Yeah, born to immigrant parents in New York City in 1905, and the first woman to successfully swim the English Channel on August 6, 1926. This marks the 100th anniversary this is perfectly timed, of Trudy competing in both the Olympic trials in Indianapolis and the 24 Olympics in Paris. And the 2024 Olympics are in Paris. Wow. I mean, and Daisy Ridley is fantastic. This is, I believe, one of her first major roles post-Star Wars trilogy for her. So that's pretty huge.
Yeah, and she trained for 3 months.
She did.
With Olympic swimmers to get the kind of the stroke and the endurance to be able to do what she did.
Would you call this a sports movie, though? I mean, it doesn't involve a sport. It does involve an athletic endeavor.
It's really a story about these two sisters who go against all odds to do what the one sister is really good at, to overcome all kinds of adversity. And there were a lot of them. I mean, they didn't want her to do it. They thought women were inferior. What happened really was her mother, who was obviously a German immigrant, and in the turn of the century, when she was about 5 or 6 years old, there was a ferry in Long Island that went down in fairly shallow water. And it was the biggest disaster prior to 9/11. There were so many women and children who drowned during that ferry going down. And the reason they drowned, it wasn't considered the right thing to do for women to swim. It was uncouth, it was unladylike. And so she got up that morning, she read that, and she sits at the dinner table and says, my girls are going to learn how to swim. And the father says, absolutely not. It's not right. Can't do it. But she persevered. She raised money herself so she could give the kids swimming lessons. And the one girl really took to the water.
And the film Young Woman in the Sea, available in theaters on May 31st. Catch The Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.